The Rhone, France's hunkiest river, is still a river for men and boats. Shipwrecks and sailors' crosses bear witness to a glorious past when men pulled huge barges up the Rhone. Horses replaced men, and after that the barges were motorized. I was pleased to find a friend from Luxembourg who gave the Regina and I a lift down the Rhone. As we waltzed down the Rhone past towns and villages, the river was alive with men working and enjoying themselves. Before the Rhone was canalised, it was a treacherous mass of sandbanks. Now it's lined with ports and industry of all kinds. I was just getting used to the rhythm of the locks when the time came for my friend to go and unload his cargo, and for the Regina and I to continue on our way. Sleepy villages which have been doing the same things every year since the Romans were here rub shoulders now with modernity. Nuclear power stations and trains share their valley. Vineyards, amongst the most famous in France, gaze over their neighbours in the chemical industry. A short stop in the cellar of the admirable Monsieur Trollard encapsulated the journey from grape to glass in a few moments. On either side of the Rhone, in little valleys, lie hidden villages, etched in time, which invite discovery. In the heart of the Drome, to the east of the Rhone, lies the Vercours, with its plateaus, cliffs and gorges.
Buckfast Abbey.
Buckfast Abbey. Yvonne Achard, beekeeper extraordinaire, introduces me to the secret world of bees. It's the result of 72 years of work by my friend, Brother Adam. With the bees of the planet, he made 42 genetic grafts to make a non-aggressive bee, which is highly resistant to disease and which produces lots of honey.
And where does the queen live?
At this moment, I said a silent prayer to Brother Adam. Where does the queen live?
Ici, down.
At the bottom.
Très lourd, c'est très lourd.
It's very heavy, 2.5 kilos.
On va voir la reine.
We'll go and look for the queen. The queen is the mother of all the bees. This queen lays 3,000 eggs per day. She lays her own body weight in eggs every day.
3000 œufs par jour. Elle pond son propre poids en œufs chaque jour.
The bee works the most, more than the ants. Yes. The bee is more than 150 million years old. They found a bee fossilized in Baltic amber, carbon dated at 80 million years ago. It was exactly like the ones we have here. It hadn't changed.
La nôtre n'a pas changé. Il y a des bébés là-dedans.
There are babies in there.
Cette ruche doit...
The bees in this hive weigh about 7 kilos. That means there are 85,000 bees inside.
Et normalement,
normally it's quite impossible to open a hive without smoke.
We go to see the queen. Très lourd. Une ruche, une reine.
Every hive has its queen.
Toutes les ruches avec une reine.
All the hives have a queen. If a hive doesn't have a queen, it perishes.
Ça c'est les mâles. Abeilles, mâles. Le mâle
those are males.
sert
The male's job is to
pour
give
donner la
semen to the
semence
queen.
à la reine. Les abeilles m'ont toujours attiré.
Ah oui.
Ouais. Quand j'étais tout
Bees have always attracted me ever since I was little.
j'aimais déjà les abeilles.
Afterwards, I could study bees in Germany,
Quand j'ai pu
especially
faire
in
des
Germany
études
because they were very
en
advanced. I was able to keep
surtout
bees
en
more
Allemagne, c'était très
scientifically.
avancé. J'ai commencé à étudier mieux et à pratiquer une apiculture un peu plus scientifique. Et puis après, j'ai rencontré le frère Adam.
After that, I met Brother Adam from
qui était donc
Buckfast
de
Abbey
l'abbaye de
who
Buckfast.
kept bees.
Et le frère Adam,
Brother Adam was the greatest beekeeper since
c'est le plus grand
Aristotle.
apiculteur de l'histoire après Aristote.
The number one beekeeper in the world was Aristotle, 2,400 years ago, and after him came Brother Adam.
This is honey. Là, c'est du miel. Mais la reine ne s'est pas montrée.
The queen hasn't come out. She's shy.
Elle est timide. La reine sort une fois.
The queen leaves the hive once, and that's called the flight of fertilization. She leaves and climbs to 40 meters. 1,000 or 2,000 males follow her. The fastest male catches her.
Mâles
Oui.
la poursuivent.
Oui.
Le mâle le plus rapide la rattrape
Oui.
et lui met son organe sexuel dans le ventre.
He pushes his sexual organ into her stomach and
Ensuite,
gives his
l'organe
semen.
sexuel de ce mâle
This male
reste
sexual
dans le ventre
organ
de la
stays
reine.
inside the queen's stomach.
Lui
The
a
male
assez
without
rapide,
his sexual
meurt.
organ falls away and dies.
Très rapide, rattrape
Another male very quickly catches the queen and removes the sexual organ of the first male. And like that, 10 males cover the queen to fertilize her and give her enough semen for 4 years.
pour 4 ans. Et quand la reine rentre à la ruche,
When the queen gets back to the hive, the bees there remove the last sexual organ.
c'est pour les Grecs de Platon.
The Greeks in the time of Plato called that the food of the gods.
Platon croyait à la...
Plato believed in reincarnation. For Plato, the bee was the last stage before the soul achieved perfection. The last incarnation was the bee.
Le dernier stade, lorsqu'une âme a atteint presque la perfection, sa dernière incarnation, c'est la...
After the bee, the soul has no further need for reincarnation. For that reason, you must never kill them, because they are a nearly perfect soul.
Parce que il y a une âme presque parfaite. Et pour la philosophie grecque de l'époque de Platon,
Greek philosophy in the age of Plato required that in the cemetery there was always a hive or a bee carved in the stone somewhere, because if there wasn't a bee somewhere in the cemetery, the soul of the dead couldn't leave the body and fly up to Mount Olympus.
Ne peut pas quitter le corps pour monter à l'Olympe. Queen.
There's the queen. She's a little bigger.
We put again the queen. Quand dans une ruche,
When in a hive a queen reaches the age of 3 years, the hive swarms.
3 ans,
That's to say, the old queen with half the hive fly off and attach themselves to a tree.
c'est-à-dire la reine, la vieille reine, avec la moitié de la ruche, sort et va s'accrocher à un arbre.
A big bundle of bees.
Un gros paquet
The rest
d'abeilles.
of the bees stay in the hive and they feed a baby bee with only royal jelly.
Et elles ont nourri une larve uniquement avec de la gelée royale. Et lorsqu'une larve est nourrie uniquement
When a
avec de la
baby
gelée
is
royale,
fed only
ça
with
donne une
royal
reine.
jelly, it becomes a queen.
Alors que
The
la
same
même
baby
larve,
fed
la même
only with
larve,
pollen, honey and water
nourrie avec
gives
du
you a
miel, du
bee
pollen
that
et de
lasts for
l'eau,
50 days. The
ça donne
same
une abeille
baby
qui
fed
vit
with
50
royal
ans.
jelly gives a bee that lives
La
for
même
4
larve
years.
nourrie avec la gelée royale donne une reine qui vit 4 ans.
Aristotle says that
Aristote
royal
avait
jelly
dit,
permits you to
la
live
gelée
longer.
royale
That's to say,
permet
you
de
age
vivre
more
plus longtemps.
slowly. We know the composition of royal
permet de
jelly.
vieillir
It's
moins
full of amino acids,
Alors maintenant,
vitamins and products that are the
connaît
basis of life.
la composition, l'analyse de la gelée royale. C'est plein d'acides aminés, de vitamines et de produits qui sont à la base même de la vie.
When humans
quand
eat royal
l'homme,
jelly,
l'humain,
they age more slowly.
consomme de la
In
gelée
other words,
royale,
they live longer.
il vieillit moins
Aristotle lived to a great
vite, il vit
age.
plus longtemps. Aristote l'avait su.
Here at Montbron, July is the time for the famous Drome lavender harvest. Every year in the baronies, a little corner of the Drome Provençal, they pick lime flowers for the annual fair. In the olden days, each peasant had about 100 to 150 kilos of dry lime flowers at least. Nowadays, they only have a bourras, or about 8 kilos. If you told me you were going to film me today, I would have had makeup. My moustache wasn't curled this morning. Every time you have a leaf in your hand, you pull it out with your teeth, so you don't have to let go of the branch, and then you spit it out. But sometimes there's a worm as well on the leaf. You take the leaves like this and spit. Sometimes there's a worm on the leaf. You bite the worm as well. What's a chenille? A worm. Each plant has often got its own caterpillar. The cabbage has its own caterpillar. The lime tree has its own caterpillar, and it's exactly this colour. It sticks to the wood there, and you can't tell it's there.
Mais on la confond, elle se colle au bois là. Et on la confond vraiment hein, avec la branche. Ça c'est.
Is it good to eat?
C'est bon, c'est bon.
No.
C'est bon pour manger.
Non. Pour que ça marche, il faut dire.
To sell the lime flowers, we tell people it's an aphrodisiac. Lime flowers.
Ça vaudrait plus cher.
We sell it more expensively in the market if we say it's an aphrodisiac.
Ça marche.
Does it work?
Le diable.
Oui.
Like the devil. It works well.
Nous avons beaucoup trop de mythes sur notre bateau.
We have too many moths on the boat. I'm hoping lavender will kill them.
J'espère la lavandre tuer les mythes.
It's not true.
Non?
It's an old wives' tale.
J'ai peur que ce soit une vue de l'esprit. Ça,
The stamens fall, and that bit is left inside. After that it gets bigger. The ball gets bigger after the flower has dried. Then the ball
ça grossit un peu,
falls.
la boule elle grossit. Et puis après, bon, la fleur, elle tombe, quand elle sèche, elle tombe. Et puis c'est ça qui ça se ressemble bien.
Is that an aphrodisiac?
Ça, c'est
Yes,
la
that as well.
Ça aussi. Bien, tilleul, voilà. Mais c'est comme anti-tilleul, je dis.
You have to present lime flowers in a nice way. I say you should get some good flowers, better than these, and tie them with a wire and put them in something that doesn't squash the flowers. That would be 10 cents for the lime flowers, 6 francs for the packaging, and you could sell the package for 10 francs. But the whole thing would be actually worth nothing. That's often the case. It's all presentation and packaging.
De tilleul et 6 francs d'emballage. Donc il faudrait le vendre 10 francs.
Oui. Ça, c'est...
Mais le produit ne vaut rien. Le produit ne vaut rien. Et pour beaucoup de choses, le produit ne vaut rien, c'est la présentation, c'est l'emballage, c'est...
That's just what I
Oui, non,
don't
mais
want
c'est
to
ça que je
do.
veux pas faire.
I don't want to
Je
find
veux pas me
myself
trouver
suddenly turned into a
demain
merchant.
transformé en
I want to
négociant.
sell my
Moi, je veux
product.
vendre mon produit.
If I buy from a neighbor or a wholesaler to sell, it's not the same as I grew it. At that moment, I would have changed my métier.
Bon, mais c'est plus la peine que je cultive.
Non, exactement.
À ce moment-là, je change de métier.
Mais je pense que c'est jamais un problème pour vendre trop de choses. Vraiment, jamais.
Je sais pas.
Jamais.
Moi, je ramasse encore, voilà, il me faut 30 kg de tilleul sec, voilà. Il n'en faut pas plus, il en faut 30. Parce que celui-là, je le vends à peu près correctement. Bon. J'ai une copine sur la Suisse depuis longtemps aussi, qui est très très bonne.
I need 30 kilos of dried lime flowers. I don't need any more, just 30 kilos, because that I can sell about the right price. I have an old friend in Switzerland who comes and buys 1,000 bunches of lavender, 30 kilos of lime flowers, olive oil, and he loads it all up. A nice clean business, a good deal. He gets products that are not too expensive, and I earn my living.
Ça c'est clair, c'est du bon boulot. Elle touche un produit pas trop cher,
Oui.
et moi je gagnais bien ma vie dessus.
Oui.
Voilà, on a sauté vraiment à l'intérieur.
I have a little girl, and my
J'ai une
neighbor is
petite,
going to
c'est ma
drop her
voisine là,
off.
qui a passé là, qui
How old is she?
est allée chercher
5 years.
ma fille,
Oui. Quel âge?
5 ans là.
5 ans.
There's a leaf in here.
Oh. Aye.
I hired young people to pick the lime flowers, and I paid them by the kilo. After that, we did the cherries. After that, I had my apricots, and I did my apricots. After that, my nephew did the field of lavender for me. I had young people all the summer.
J'avais toujours 2 jeunes tout l'été quoi. Tu me donnes les branches qui sont toutes tes fesses. Allez,
The moment of truth.
Ça, c'est...
Je fais durer un peu quand même, parce que celle-là...
Pas exagéré. Oh.
It's 8 kilos. How much will you get paid?
8 kilos. Combien vous êtes payé pour ça?
Je sais pas le cours cette année. Je sais
I
pas.
don't know. 50 francs?
Il va faire un peu plus cette année, je pense. Non, il est plus cette année. Il va faire 60.
A bit more this year. They'll pay 60 to 70 francs a kilo, I think.
C'est riche.
Sec, hein?
You're
Sec.
rich.
Ah oui.
No,
Sec,
no,
c'est pas
dry.
Non, là, voilà. Là-bas, faut attraper là-bas. Voilà, comment on attache un bourras. On fait comme ça, non, pas comme ça, comme ça. Comme ça.
Voilà, ok.
Ah, ici, voilà. On tourne.
This is how you tie up a bourras. Like this, not like that.
Ah, ça c'est le système.
You do it like a shoelace.
Alors après, on fait comme ça, comme une chaussure. Hop, comme ça. Faut plus lâcher celui-là, surtout. Voilà. Simple.
Je comprends. Un barrage.
Un bourras.
Barrage.
Un bourras, une saquette.
Oui.
The Drome Provençal is the #1 producer of medicinal plants.
Oui.
In the middle of the 80s, 1985 or 1986, we proved scientifically that the lime flowers of Baronies, the botanical quality lime flowers with big leaves, Tilia platyphilos, was the lime flower with the most elements of neurosedative. Is it an aphrodisiac? No, it's a neurosedative. That's to say, the lime flowers calm and relax you and help you to sleep. If the lime trees grow to touch the sky, it's simply because the grandmother and the grandfather aren't there anymore, and there's no one left to collect the flowers. For nearly 200 years, the little town of Buile-Baronies has held its lime flower fair on the first Wednesday of July. As dawn breaks, the esplanade fills with all types of vehicles, laden with huge bundles of lime flowers. Buyers arrive later and the bargaining begins. After a few hours, the bourras are weighed, change hands, and the deals are done.
Eh oui. Si personne ne se rend compte que j'ai crevé, je ne sais pas comment je vais rentrer.
Oui, les deux apprentissages, mais on a supprimé l'apprentissage.
Je ne peux plus partager.
C'est bon maximum. Il y a eu le premier prix quand même, celui-là. Salut monsieur.
Les 40 ou 50. Non, les clients passent comme les coups.